What's up, everybody? Dog 1985. There's levels to this. All right, guys, check this out. So I wanted to let this take a little bit of time. Didn't want to jump on the bandwagon like everybody else was doing right off the bat. And I want to talk about this from a different angle. Okay. So this is what I'm going to say. Not everything that happens affects every single gamer, right? And we know that. However, I do appreciate when things are being called out or when things are being said in in a way that lets the companies know that even though it may not affect us, we're still paying attention. And this is very important because these companies are all looking at each other. And the main goal is for them to make money. That's the main goal. It's not to bring you entertainment. Don't be foolish. That's not their main goal. Their main goal is not to bring you entertainment. Their main goal is to make money, is to make a profit. Now they know that they have to bring you entertainment in order to make that profit. But it's up to us to deem what is entertaining and what is worth that money, what is worth that value. So if we were to talk about storage and expanding storage and stuff like that, is this really a big deal to the majority of gamers? Maybe last gen or two generations ago, maybe it wasn't really that big of a deal because of the size of the game, and most people are okay with just deleting a game. So I'm curious to see how many people actually expand their storage, right? The bigger issue is when these systems, both the Xbox and the PS5, come out with features that aren't usable yet. So this SSD thing being in beta and you guys having to test it out, and I mean I say you guys, but my son got a PS5 as well. And on our PS4, we did have an external hard drive. So we actually did use external storage on the PS4, which is interesting now that I think about it. So my PS4 Pro already has 1 terabyte, and I think 1 terabyte is probably the sweet spot. But some people don't want to delete their game. Some people want to be able to have it all there. It's just more convenient. But for this feature to be part of the system and not be ready at release date, there has to be something said about that. Because again, the same way that I talk about the Xbox Series X and the whole tools thing, right? I hate when people talk about tools and they're not ready and they don't know how to use it yet. They know how to use the $500 that they charge me. Maybe instead of charging me $500, maybe they should have charged me, I don't know, $350 for the Xbox Series X, and then they could charge me the extra 150 once the tools arrive. Maybe they should have charged you $350 for the PS5 and then an extra freaking 150 once there was nothing in beta. You know what I mean? Like that's just my mentality to thinking about all this thing. So I fault both companies with this, right? When something comes out and just features that aren't available, I'm curious to know what other appliance, what else could you buy on the market that's exactly the same? Like if you bought a car and they said the airbags won't work until 6 months down the road, like you'd be like, what? Like I'm not doing that. Or if you bought a car and they said the radio is not gonna work until 3 months down the road or whatever, like you wouldn't buy that vehicle. But with these systems, we're expected to buy them and be okay with waiting until features of the systems come out, and that's the problem that I have. So with that being said, on both sides, the people that cap for Microsoft talking about you just got to wait for the tools, calm down, doc. No, I don't have to wait for the tools. They took my $500. I don't have to wait for anything. It should already be there. And for everyone that's capping on the PS5 talking about that a feature that's part of the system being in beta is not a problem. No, that's a problem. They're having the consumers test it out. That's a problem. And then the disclaimer that they put out there, if you buy the wrong one that and it messes up your system, like yo, that's insane. That's insane. That's like if I bought, we'll keep it with the Xbox Series X. That's if I bought Energizer batteries instead of Duracell batteries, and the Energizer AA batteries that I bought break my controller, then Microsoft won't fix it. Not only that, my controller actually got messed up, and I think it was the third party charger that I was using. Microsoft didn't ask me no questions. It just went ahead and fixed it. No questions at all. So for Sony to have this disclaimer out, they're talking about it's your responsible to make sure that the whatever it is SSD you use is the right one, also stuff. But then they don't want to give you a list themselves. I don't know, man. That to me is kind of bogus. And again, we got to call it out because I don't want Microsoft to do the same thing. The same way you guys call out things that Microsoft does. And we all got to do it. We all got to do it. I applaud everyone that's calling out the Stadia business model. Stadia business model to me makes no sense. Like, and the people that cap for that Stadia business model, what am I paying $10 a month for? If you guys saw, I spoke with Cowboy. Shout out to you, Cowboy. The games that Stadia was giving out this month for $10. And on his stream, Cowboy said, well, yeah, it's only $10 a month. You can't expect, great games. Well, for $5, well, no, that's not true because I have Game Pass Ultimate, but the regular Game Pass is $10 and you're getting day and date. So that's what they're competing against. It is what it is. When something's the same price, $10 for Game Pass, $10 for Stadia, I mean, because you're not paying for the technology to stream because that's free, right? So what's the $10 that you're paying for? The 4K 60, 4K HDR? I mean, I don't know, man. So we have to call out every single company and the things that they do. I know I talk about don't call out Nintendo, but yeah, call out Nintendo as well. The only difference with Nintendo for me is that I feel like when you're buying a Nintendo system, you know exactly what you're getting. For the most part, you know exactly what you're getting. When I bought my Xbox Series X, I did not know I had to wait for the tools. I did not. When you bought your PS5, I don't know if you knew that PlayStation was going to make you test out their SSD thing. I don't know if you knew that or not. But if you didn't, you should feel some type of way. That's just my take on it. Let me know what you guys think. I don't think I'm wrong on this one. I think both these companies, when things are done wrong, have to be called out on it. And then with that same token, if you cap too hard for a company, you're going to look foolish. You're going to look foolish. Look at everything that a lot of Sony fans were writing on all these games coming out. And it was funny because I remember the beginning of the year, I remember being on podcasts talking about I could drop every single month all these games that are gonna come out, all this other stuff. And I remember finally I said, I can't remember I might have been on my Big Bros podcast. Shout out to you, Puerto Rock, where I said, hey, don't talk about the future. I don't want to know about the future. Tomorrow I might get hit by a car or something like that. I don't want to know about, I want to know about, right now. And it came to fruition because a lot of these games are being delayed. So it doesn't really matter what's being promised to us. And a delayed game is not a bad thing. If it's going to make the game better, then please, by all means, delay it. Don't charge us $70 for a game that's not ready. Please don't. Go ahead, delay it, make sure the game's ready, and then go from there. But at the end of the day, the stuff that you guys were capping for, as far as all these games coming out, now they're not coming out. So what's gonna happen? Xbox is not your enemy. It's not. Sony is not your enemy either. PS5 is dope. My son got a PS5. I just got back from Illinois. I was playing with the PS5. It's dope. There's just no need to get a PS5 right now unless you're extremely want to play Returnal, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, Astrobot, Bugsnax. What else? What else? Unless those 4 games you like really want, really, well, Sackboy on the PS4. I don't know. Unless you really want to play those games, there's no reason to get a PS5. The same way, there's no real reason to get an Xbox Series X either. You guys are good. Go ahead and wait. See, that's the difference. An Xbox fan could tell you, like, yeah, you could go ahead and wait. I showed you guys the picture at my son's house where he's got the Xbox One S and the PS5. Now I'm gonna make a video talking about this. The low speeds are, you don't realize how slow last generation consoles are until you actually have a next gen console. Wow, this is ridiculous. But regardless, and I think the PS4 Pro is faster than the Xbox One S, but it is what it is. Regardless though, You get an Xbox Series X because you want one. You get an Xbox Series S because you want one. You get a PS5 because you want one. But why do you want it? Why do you want it? For me, power narrative, that's the reason why I got it. And I saw Game Pass as an amazing deal. For people that want to get PS5, Sony, you mostly got it for the exclusives. So when the exclusives are being delayed and are coming out late or are coming out on the PS4 as well, it's okay for you to feel some type of way. The same way that I feel some type of way when the Xbox Series X is not providing that power narrative, right? It's okay. So at the end of the day, stop capping pretending like this SSD stuff is not a big deal. It is a big deal. It is a big deal because the feature wasn't fully ready when the system came out. It is what it is. So it is a big deal. That's all I'm going to say. Doc Dog 1985, there's levels to this. We out. Peace.